Welcome to this Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden. I'm a certified Zentangle teacher. And today we're going to take a look at the Tangle Hearty from Livia Chua. Now, this is a neat tangle. I found this one, gosh, when I was first tangling. And I remember thinking, ooh, that looks neat. And then being so fascinated with the result and how easy it was to do, and that I could do this, and that it's part of the addiction. It's just where it's just, wow, that's amazing. um, and I can't believe I have not shared it yet on the Daily Tangle. It's just really, really neat. All right, and it's February. I'm looking for hearty type things, and so this completely fits the bill. It works nice. It's a great border tangle, but it can work along a string. You know what? Let me do that because I'll explain later. But I have one that I did already that's just kind of straight up and down. But I thought, let's do. Okay, so let's pretend. Let's do a string. So let's say, okay, this. All right, that's it. Okay, I'm not good at just doing things like that. And let's see which way I don't know which way I like it. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. I'm going to use the outer edge here. Yes. First step with this one is it's just a series of C-shaped curved lines. We're going to start with going one direction. And these can be however big you want them, however, I'm going to say long you want them. Okay. Then, on the other side, and same thing. Lots of decisions that can be made, and that's how far apart you want to leave some kind of a gap. All right, and so I'm going to leave this much of a gap, and then it's the same thing, just going the opposite direction. Honestly, these don't have to line up. I am the my mission in my Zentangle life is to prove that it doesn't matter. That whatever happens happens, and it can still look pretty good. All right, then in these gaps we're going to use the takeoff and land concept. And if you're not familiar, well, the shape that we're going to do, number one, and let me just do one first. It's kind of a V shape. It's two kind of little curved lines. It could also be straight, or you can do one curved and one straight. Or it's all up to you. Whatever the pen ends up doing. Okay, so that's the shape we're going to do. Takeoff and land is tracing over kind of the before and then tracing over after. So I'm going to trace over a little bit of this, come down, and then as I come up, I'm tracing over a little bit of the line where I'm landing. And it's very little, but what's neat is at least if you aim to line them up, then you don't get the funny little bumps and things that can happen. And so we're just doing these V shapes all the way down. We always want to turn our tile so that way it's comfortable, and it's especially something like this, if you're going on a curve or something where the shape will pretty much stay in the same direction, so you won't have like some weird slant. And so and things like this, doing the takeoff and land really helps, because it's like, well, all of a sudden, look, it like magic, it just becomes part of it. And I'm just going to leave that open for now. I could always have it go down, but I'm just going to leave it the way it is for the moment, and decide what I want to do with it at the end. Actually, I could do that at the beginning too. Oh, that might be a good idea. I said I was going to wait. I'm not. I lied. Let's do the same thing up here. So like it's continuing from off the page, and then I can put the little there. Nice. Okay. Next, pick a place to start at the top. I'm going to start, Well, I might as well. No, I'll start right here. Okay. The next step is we're going to aura this one side. Or you can think of it as adding, more C shapes like that, just sticking out. And you can put as much separation there as you want. And I'm coming in from that crevice and going back in. And we're doing 2, and then skip the next one, then do skip. So we're doing every other one on the one side. This is also another one of those tangles where, well, actually, it is a Zentangle philosophy. Don't prejudge your work. Just follow the steps, kind of trust the process. Keep going. Just focusing on what the pen is doing at the moment, that stroke that you're doing at the moment, and then next one, and just not thinking any further ahead, and not doing like a broad overview look. Just stay focused on that one thing. The next step is, and I'll tell you why in a bit, is we're gonna do the other side. So the ones that we skipped, we're gonna do those on the flip side. I'm gonna do just this little partial up here, and then we'll start. And if you do it on a curve, it just you just have to fit it in as you can. And okay, that is essentially it. Except we can decorate if we want to. And let's see, I'm gonna fill these in. And I'm gonna fill in the closest one. Here's something to think about. So as you finish all of the steps, then let's take a look, assess, and go, yeah, okay, well that's good. And if there's something that you did that you didn't like, then I always like to think, okay, well how can I fix that? And if it's and then you can fill in. So like I've decided for no reason except that I wanted to fill in this little gap, that this orange section that's closest to the heart. And partly because I like how Linda did it on Tangle Patterns. That link is in the description section. So I really like that, so I'm copying it. In my version of the step out, I put little lines like this, and here's what's fun. You could do something like this and go, yep, don't like it. And then just fill it in. I love that. But this is where, if you need to course correct, so if one of these lines, okay, so like this one is a little weird shaped in this one section, I usually fill it in first and then see if I still don't, if there's still something. And it's not a whole, like a big thought process, but I'm like, oh yeah, okay. Let's just eke that out a little bit. See? So, course correcting, good thing, because there's no such thing as a mistake, as I said, in Zentangle. But you could put little orbs in there. And then depending, too, as I said, how wide you make these sections. And then we're going to do the same on the other side. You could have a lot more fun with those if they're maybe a little bit wider or something. Another thing I like about this tangle, because I always like the ones that are more whimsical, because when they're whimsical, it just lends itself so much more to however it ends up, and it's good. If something's a little wonky, well, we changed this a long time ago in our Tangle Addicts community, that instead of saying wonky, we say it's whimsical. And if it's sloppy, it's just rustic. It's all in how you frame it. And so, yeah, so lots and lots of fun with this one. All right. So there's that. And now for some shading. Ooh, and actually, you know what I'm going to do? Because I kind of, this is kind of going down the straight line, and I want to do it a little bit differently. Let's do this. Let's just have fun with this. Usually, don't worry. The string line usually just kind of disappears. It depends on what you do, but this is one way to make it disappear. Is just like, well, let's add it to the shading. How can we have fun with that? And let's do this where I'm going to fill in just this one side, and I think I'm going to make it maybe a little bit darker on that one side, at least towards the edge is what I'm thinking. And let's do so a little bit of added graphite there. And because, sometimes it just needs a little extra. So we've got it kind of blurred in. We'll see how that looks. And then on the other sample that I would have, that it's a little bit different the way I did the shading. But that way, if you don't like that string line, and there also could have disguised it a different way. I could have used that just as a guide, and maybe did it over the C shapes a little bit more or something. There's always things that you can do, or you just don't worry about it. That's another way. All right, so there we go. Such a neat tangle. And I did want to show how you could use this and have it curve around. This is the one I did earlier. And I decided to put little orbs in that interior aura. And then I decided to shade just that side. And so I alternated it. Still has a neat look. Really neat look. So, super cool tangle. Super cool. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, number one, would love to have you be a subscriber to the channel. You could also love it if you click like. And feel free to leave comments, share it, things like that. I appreciate any and all of those activities as it helps the algorithm to share my videos to other people and spread the fun word of Zentangle. In the description section, I mentioned you have links to the step outs. I always do my own version, and then a link to the artist that created the tangle. This one, just so you know, I'm putting the tangle patterns link in because that's where I found it. On that page, a lot of times on tangle patterns, you scroll down and find the step out right there on that page. But then sometimes you have to search for the word here, where to click to get the step out. This is one of those, but it's not as verbose as some of them, so that it's real easy to find. A lot of times, if it's that way, I'll put the extra link in there. But she always has. Linda Farmer always has great information, and it's always fun to read. And I also like her thumbnails as an example. So that will be in the description section. Below those, I have a link to my website where you'll find that I do classes. So if you're interested in taking a class, online, and a lot of them are free. I teach almost twice a week, and I do 2 sessions on the 2 days that I teach. And Thursdays are free. It's Tangle time. There's one Tuesday a month that I have as a free class, and that is Tough Tangle Tuesday. Would love to have you join us. We have a lot of fun. But I do have a couple paid classes as well, and then one that is exclusive to my Tangle Addicts Club members. And you can find information for all of that on my website if you just click on classes. And below that, if you happen to be on Facebook, I have a link to my page. Would love to have you follow me there. Yeah, I post the classes there as well, and other stuff. Oh, while you're on my website, if you want to subscribe to my blog, because tangles like this, I do a daily tangle. I've been doing it for a while, and then just fairly recently been putting it into a monthly theme. This one we're going to have 2 because we have Valentangles, and then that'll be until Valentine's Day, and then we'll do something else for the rest of the month. But so you'll get those notices there. if you have again, and if you happen to be on Facebook and want to join our private community, we would love to have you. Just to let you know, I have required questions to join the group, so you can click on that link and and see if you think it might be right for you. We have a lot of fun, and it's such a wonderful, wonderful group of people, and a lot of them are on the classes, the sessions, every week. It's such a beautiful community that we've developed over the last couple years. So, again, would love to have you join us. And with that, thanks so much for watching, and I wish you happy tangling.